Planning board meeting to order. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Alright, this is our planning board meeting, December 12th, 2023. We are being recorded for public access. In attendance tonight with myself, Adam Somerville, Chair.
Brandon Griffin, Treasurer.
Bob Kimball, member.
Elaine Bertrand, co-chair.
Wayne Andrews, member.
Alright. Tonight on our agenda to start, we have 870 Temple Street. Residence A1, general business. Type of structure, existing dwelling, proposed 16-unit residential building, Hamlin Orchards LLC. In High Park, won't leave the address. When did you acquire the property? December 30th, 2022. Application has been filed with the clerk, and yes, the previous appeal has been made, withdrawn without prejudice. Section of bylaw which relief is requested, section 240-5.4A 12, section 240-7.3 C1 and C2. Section 247.3, Section D, Section 240-7.2, site plan approval. The site contains an older single-family home on 5.14 acres. The applicant wishes to construct a 16-unit apartment building containing 12 two-bedroom units and 4 one-bedroom units. This property lies within 2 zoning districts, which the proposed building being located in the general business zone with the parking within the residence zone. About 1.5 acres of site will be developed and the remaining 3.6 acres will be left in its natural state based on the site containing 2 zones, districts, shape of the property, topography, and soil conditions are the basis for the variance. So, anybody have any questions? I'll open the board if anybody has any questions. When we're done, if you have, just raise your hand, just give your name and address, and just say your piece.
Is there anybody from the developer here this evening?
I don't believe so. That was my next question. No?
No.
Okay. Anybody on the board have any comments?
Yeah, there's a lot of things to consider here because they're looking for 4 different variances.
Yeah.
And the first question I would have is how close they are to the street and the lot lines beside them.
Let's see. From Brian Courtney, the street's 20 feet wide, but 38.3 feet.
It's supposed to be 50 feet from the lots and 50 feet from the street.
Okay. So this driveway coming down, they don't have that, that's not close. I'm trying to see what this is. There's the driveway.
And under 240-7, item D, if these units are going to be built near single-family resident area, which they are, they can only have a maximum of 8 units per building. And from what I'm understanding, they're gonna have 16.
Yes, one building, 16 units. To answer your previous question, from the driveway to the residence is 8.3 feet. That's assuming the 20.
No. That's the lot line.
Next.
Right.
It's 20,
If the driveway's 20.
no, that's 36 feet from the lot line to the building.
Right, so but I'm saying, she's saying from the edge of the driveway to the building.
No, that is,
Okay.
So even with that, it's short.
So they need to be 50 feet from the nearest lot line,
Yeah.
50 feet from the street, so 50 feet from Temple Street.
From Temple Street is 26.5. 20, was that 25?
Those are 2 issues.
Yep.
If they don't meet that guideline. Is the lot greater than 87,000 square feet?
5.14 acres, so
Yes.
yes. 1.5 acres is being developed.
Right, and the 1.5 that they're developing is the general business.
Yes. The majority of the whole building will be in general business. The parking alone will be in residence A1.
Okay.
They only have one dumpster for that too. They only have one dumpster down at the bottom, so you.
No, the big, I'll make it without it. Thank you so much.
Ken,
Yes, Wayne.
they only have one dumpster.
Okay,
That's irrelevant to approval. They got 16 units altogether.
yeah,
With all due respect, it could be a 20-yard dumpster.
yeah.
Could be.
How close are they from the, how close is the parking from the units?
It's abutting almost.
It's supposed to be 15 feet.
Yeah, I can't tell on this how far from the,
Let's say 11? Am I reading that right, Bob?
Yeah. No, there's no.
yeah, there's no number
No
from
number.
there, just the parking spots.
3 foot. Okay.
Your brother, I'm just curious.
I guess, what, 8 here, and then the 100 feet.
Everybody else,
I got a couple of comments. Number one, it's better than the previous plan because all the water drainage is gonna be taken care of on site, percolating down into the ground, but it still may percolate into the wetlands that are behind. Number two, even though they're asking for 23 feet from the street, the adjacent buildings behind it, so at a minimum, they should be level with the existing buildings in the area. All the new construction in that area has been due to the bylaw as far as setback from the street. There hasn't been any new building in the recently. The older buildings that have been there for a while. Some of them are grandfathered. There's no access for the fire department on the back side of the building, so I don't think the fire department's gonna be able to get in there or approve this.
no turnaround either.
No turnaround. I would recommend that the planning board deny this. They're trying to put a building on a shoehorn and it doesn't work.
I'll second that.
But we have to.
We'll make a motion, that sounds
Feel
good
like
though.
I'm-
Brenda, do you have anything to add, or?
agree.
I don't, I just want to speak to the size of the roof too. It's a bit much considering we're already going to be local in, so.
Yeah. Alright, I'll open it to public comments, if anyone would like to say something?
I'll speak.
Yes?
Joanne Smith, 84 Sportsman's Trail. And I guess I will speak for all the neighbors here that we agree. We've been coming to the meetings and we all understand that, this gentleman bought this property and he can develop it. But I agree, it's a small piece of land, it's wet. It was marketed that it was gonna be this great opportunity to build and make all kinds of money. It's wet, no matter, you can keep coming, it's not gonna change the size or the shape or the wetlands back there. If they wanna do something, it should fit.
Yep.
Everything he's proposing does not fit.
Yep.
And we all have, I've lived there for almost 40 years. Everyone that abuts has been there for almost 40 years. We pay taxes, we have followed all the rules and regulations of the town. Why should someone else be able to come in and just bypass all the rules and regulations? Because we're gonna have to deal with the water, and the lights, and the trash, and no egress for fire. Where's the snow removal going? These are all the things we have to think about. And I'm glad that you people can see that this just doesn't fit. And now, yes, the last one was awful, but this one's just as bad. Who wants to have an apartment building and 36 parking spaces in your backyard? We have, these people have little children, there's no privacy. They're gonna get water. So I'm thankful that you can see what we see. It just doesn't fit.
Yep.
Yes, if he wants to come and take that house down and develop something, then he should have to follow the bylaws of the town. And I agree with Ms. Bergeron here, These aren't little variances. I mean, he's not coming in saying, oh, I'm only gonna be 5 feet over here. I mean, these are huge variances. You know, he wants to change the whole landscape in there. You know, it's not like, oh, we just need a few feet here and there. We wouldn't be here fighting that. And now we want to be looking at a 2 or 3 story building. And who's coming in here? These are renters. Are they gonna care what's going on behind there? Now we have to deal with the management company back there trying to take care of trash and maintaining the property. There's no guarantee that's gonna happen. So yes, we're gonna keep coming. In the next meeting, there'll be more people and we'll keep fighting.
That's your right.
You know?
We appreciate you being here.
And I mean, if we don't stop it, and if this one goes through, what's the next one gonna be? And before you know it, we're gonna have an apartment building in everyone's backyard, it's gonna look like Whitman. Thank you.
No problem, thank you, Miss.
That's what the state wants us to do.
That's another subject later.
Right, I
Out
know.
of scope, out of scope for what we're discussing.
How many stories?
But I've been here for 40 years because.
One person talking, please.
You
I
know,
can't hear with everybody talking first.
Miss, you had something to say?
Dawn Quinlan, 190 Joyce Terrace. Just looking at the plans, I'm grateful that you're making this decision because the parking lot was really close to the wetlands, and I believe it's supposed to be a 100-foot buffer zone from the wetlands. Is that correct?
I'm not 100% sure on that.
I believe it is, and it's really close. I live right behind it, and I brought in pictures last time. I keep on a lot of water in my yard,
Yeah.
so I was concerned about the water coming down.
Yeah, you're right on the back.
Yeah,
You can see you're on the plan.
so
Okay, noted.
The zone to building is short anyway. Most of you may not know me, but I'm the first person who's gonna jump for apartments. This doesn't fit, it doesn't work. So,
Sir?
Jason Smith, that's the West Portsmouth Sale. Just to clarify something for me, because I've been looking at the plan a little bit, and sometimes it's tough to read some of the dimensions and whatever. How much is the space between the building itself and the property line that it's abutting?
For which one? For Brian Courtney?
Yeah.
It's 38.3 feet.
30, now, and in
That's
that,
from the facade to his property line.
okay, now, in that 38.
Is it 36? I'm sorry.
Yep, 36.
Okay.
36. Now, is my understanding that in that 36, there's going to be a street coming
Yes.
in and a sidewalk coming in as well?
Yes,
In
sir.
that 38 feet? Between the,
The road itself says 20 feet wide.
okay, all right, I just wanted to clarify.
No problem.
It's not, I was, trying to understand that, Okay.
that's how it reads, yes.
That's tight.
For a fire truck.
Yeah, that's Mr. Godby's got any comments or questions?
Yeah, I didn't realize this was going to be, I mean, I heard about it at the last second, but
Yep.
I didn't realize we had a hearing on this tonight. Yeah, I mean, this was a project that went in front of the Zoning Board of Appeals a couple months ago, which had 4 3-unit buildings. We withdrew the project based on some of the concerns. We were told to come back with a building in the highway business zone of the property. So we decreased it from 4, excuse me, sorry.
Deliberately staying out of it.
You can come in, John.
Yeah, it's okay, though. Yeah, we located the building just within the in the highway general business zone, which requires a special permit. It's allowed within that zone, so that's what we've done. Before we had buildings down here abutting several properties. We've decreased the paving. We've put a infiltration system underground to handle the drainage, which will be discussed at another meeting. It's done by a civil engineer who we had do that. Basically, we're probably using less than 25% of the lot, which is 5 acres, kept it away from the abutting properties on Sportsman's Trail. Closest corner of the parking lot is 70 feet to the Dion Family Trust, and the rest of this area will remain wooded. So based on what we submitted before and going through the comments of the Zoning Board of Appeals, this was the proposal that we came up with just one building that was suggested to us to do, and that's how we're coming back with this project. And there are some maybe future plans that doesn't go through that I will not handle. I'm not a 40B guy, so I don't do that stuff. So I think there are a lot of uses allowed in this particular location: auto body shops, car repair, gas stations, convenience stores that are allowed without any permits. So I kind of think this may in fact be the best use of the property that protects the surrounding area. The majority is in the general business zone. And I'm sure we'll be answering a lot more questions at a zoning board hearing, but I just heard this about 3 hours ago that it was tape on tonight, so.
How many stories? One
That
story?
was my question. How many units per floor and how many stories was it?
It's 2 stories, is 16 units, 12 2-bedrooms and 4 1-bedrooms.
Okay.
I mean, it's gonna meet the height requirement for the building in that zone.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Brian Love here, 73 Choice Terrace. I mean, I'm concerned about the amount of fill that looks like it's gonna be brought in, less than almost 15 feet of material to bring that back up to the level of the building, is that right? And then, I mean, most of it's gonna be, and then the wetlands haven't been flagged out here. I mean, according to the plan, it doesn't look like it has.
What's that?
Wetlands have been flagged yet?
Yeah, it was flagged. It was flagged probably about 1.5 years ago, Brian, but before we brought the other project in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just, your wetlands height is to make sure, I know that there's a couple registered burner pools in the back that they would want to put on the plan. The DEP just said check with them to make sure that they know the locations of that. I'm not sure if they're on the actual burner pool registry online, but they are registered, yeah, they are registered.
Yeah, the botanist said they weren't, but that was
Yeah, just,
that was about a year ago.
I haven't checked with the, DEP person though.
Yeah.
It's just-
Yeah, I mean, we are not altering any wetlands. We are doing some filling in the rear of this parking area here. We're gonna have a retaining wall in here. But we will not be encroaching on any wetlands. If there is no, if the vernal pool is in the wetlands, there is no really protection from that. I mean, it's
Yeah,
still
I
within
think
our
this should be important to be on, just on the plan,
Yeah.
if you guys can.
Yeah.
And then the infiltration basin, you know, I know you're gonna put in fill material and who knows what that filter is gonna look like, but infiltrating that much runoff, I think you're gonna increase the water load of that wetland area. We see a lot of water down the Joyce Terrace already. I know Dawn's backyard is, floods in the spring.
Well, yeah, I mean, we have to meet DEP stormwater standards. We have a huge infiltration system that's gonna, and then that'll take care of peak flow. We are gonna be discharging into the wetland area that eventually flows in a southeasterly direction. Nowhere near Sportsman's Trail in that area there.
I just think you're gonna be infiltrating the fill. Is this gonna be, I think it's gonna run right away. Right?
Well, that's
I know,
actually, that's how it's.
I know it's in the handbook, but I just saying.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it's recommended to do it.
I know.
We wouldn't be putting it in a clay material or a silt material because it's not gonna drain, but usually you want something, you know, with less than a 2-minute perk rate, just so it does infiltrate. And the purpose is to then to go into the natural material. You take out the topsoil and the subsoil and fill it and place those units within that.
I don't know if something was looked at that you can actually hold back the water and release it on small, almost like a controlled release. That may be like a better.
Yeah, well, that's why the capacity of the Caltex are going to be,
Okay,
I think,
I'm sure there's a drainage report.
wait a minute, did I? Like I say, I was kind of shocked I was gonna be here, but.
Sorry, Carl.
Okay. Yeah, there is a Caltex system that we're using, this will be it here, within, this is just a section through it. But, that's,
They'll hold it.
yeah.
I'm all set.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we're putting in a system that's gonna take care of the drainage, that's our job. And we're not here to flood anybody else out. I've been in this town since 1980 and I haven't had a bad report yet. So I'm not looking forward to having any. And obviously it's a 5-acre site. The owners want to do something with it, and whether it's this or something else, something will go there. But right now we're probably using maybe 20% of the property.
Sir, you had a question?
Yeah, Alec Bowles at 72 Sportsman Trail. Is this going to be a private way?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. It's not a street that would be accepted by the town for plowing. It's an access way that would be used for any apartment complex, condominium site that's in the town.
Also, is there going to be a basement at apartments?
Basement's none.
Anybody else?
One
Yeah,
more
go
thing.
ahead.
So, once, if we got a bunch of snow, would the parking lot flood and go into our basements?
No.
How much soil are you putting in to level it out? Are you bringing in? I'm asking you.
Yeah, you're asking me how much soil we're putting in? We're filling around the parking lot with a retaining wall, so we don't have to slope it further out into the wooded area. We're just matching existing contours. The site already slopes from elevation 122 down to 106.
Yeah.
So we're maintaining that same 120 here all the way down to the 108 contour.
About 15 feet back. So that wall might be, that wall might be 12 feet deep at one point, toward the back. Let me go from like 118 to 1.
Yeah, we have a section on the wall here. I mean, the height of the wall varies. I think the maximum is 12 feet. How are you, miss? Good, thanks.
Anybody else? Anything else? All right. Anybody from the board have anything else to add? Somebody like to make a motion? Well, you want to reiterate your motion for Melissa, just for Melissa?
It's been seconded, yeah.
Melissa,
I have it. Yep.
you all set?
Mhm.
All right. So second by Elaine.
Read it so.
Oh yeah, just so Mr. Guy was there for the.
Okay, sorry, let me just scroll back up so then I can. There was a motion to recommend denial due to the size of the lot for the buildings.
Oh, it's more than that.
Yeah. So what about for fire truck? You didn't turn around.
Okay, well that was
No egress for
before
the-
that was before the
rear
rec-
of
that was all before the
the-
recommendation.
Yeah, well, I think,
The recommendation.
well, we're fine with that. The fire, we've accomplished a backup area in through here for the
Yeah.
fire. I mean, same as in any other area in town.
And a couple of the issues are that we've got two residential buildings on either side of it, and this building sets that. So you're asking for a variance on the frontage from the road back.
Well, I mean,
Front-hand side.
we're in a general business zone. They're the ones that are non-conform, they're the residents. We're the business.
Okay, I understand that,
Yeah,
but what's the setback of general business required? 50 feet?
12. In general business?
Yeah.
12.
Is it being rezoned now?
Pardon me?
Is this being rezoned?
No,
No reason.
no, it's not rezoning. It's a special permit just to build in that zone. It's not a variance.
Okay.
Okay? So,
My apologies, I thought this was the other area. My apologies.
Anything, anybody else? You wanna read?
actually, in the general business zone, the required frontage is, setback is 0 front, 0 side, 20 rear.
Alright.
One of the things that concerned me, Kyle, was if it's in a, if there's residential homes nearby, there should be no more than 8 units per structure, and you get 16.
Well, that's just under the multifamily thing. Oh, yeah, right. I mean, we could, but it was suggested to us to do one building. We had 4 buildings before, and they were all less than 8 units, but,
But you're gonna take up different land use if you did it the other way.
But
I mean, as far as the issues with it, I mean, that's addressed by the fire chief.
Correct, but that was his address when he was here last time. He's not
Yeah,
saying he's
well-
here, not here now anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I have the minutes of the last meeting.
Yeah. That was his concern. Was a rear access.
Well, yeah, because we had, the end of the road was way down here.
Correct.
Behind Mulis's property. He was worried about the turnaround here.
Yeah.
He's not worried about it, he wasn't worried about it up front.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, this project's going in front of the zoning board, I mean, that's,
Right.
and you guys are commenting, but I think,
We just,
you voted before I got to even be here.
no, that's why we reiterated and everything.
If you're gonna review my plan, to be honest with you, if you're gonna review a plan by me, I should be notified that you're gonna,
It's supposed to.
I go off of the application, whoever's address is here, and because this is an older form, there's no email or phone number listed on here, so I just mailed out mail to the address here, because that was the only address that I had on the application.
oh,
Plus it was posted.
well, yeah, that's how I found it. I wasn't looking for it, I just found it.
Yeah.
Alright, so
your recommendation to zoning board is to deny.
okay.
We need to amend that motion to new information.
I don't have any reason for that.
Then it needs to be stated clearly for the recorder, so.
She already recorded it, stated it.
She hasn't
Just keep
recorded
it
what we've done.
Well, read it back again then.
The actual motion that was made was to recommend denial due to the building being too large for the piece of land that it was on.
Okay, that's,
That's your motion.
And that's it? Okay. That's want to be clear that that's it.
Alright, so Bob, that's Bob's motion, seconded by Elaine.
And seconded.
Any further discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
thank you, Carol.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for coming, I appreciate it. Thank you for your input.
Listen, you know what I find out from something that these days? The bond on the river. Okay. Which, that road, is subdivided now. But the new, saga.
I will look into it and I will reach out and let you know. You're welcome.
Yeah. It's not the end all be all. It's the private.
Yeah.
It's on the head.
Headwaters.
This is all goes down.
That's the water.
Yeah, nothing.
It's kind of like.
Yeah, but, I mean,
I was just an accident.
They say,
Yeah.
business essential, and all comers run off.
Well, they're not gonna push the station there.
kind of changes things.
Yeah.
It has to be
What's the next thing that you wanna do?
I appreciate the information.
Thank you, I wouldn't have even
Alright,
looked for that.
Probably get me and John out of here.
Far away.
Bump
This
the
is.
MBTA.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get John.
Hydraulically intact.
So we're gonna do the MBTA
Yeah, we'll do the
next,
MBTA
okay?
now.
In the. It's all connected.
Alright, we still have a meeting going?
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Sorry,
Alright.
it's true.
No, it's all good, it is what it's all good.
Thank you.
So if you do MBTA next, okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
yep, we
yeah.
will.
Thank you, Justin.
Do we wanna, whatchamacallit for a minute until the other people come?
Yeah, he's right here. No, he wasn't here anyway, so. Alright, so now we got the MBTA density, I don't even know the name of it. Overlay district, thank you. So, you. John, did you see the new proposal?
No, yeah.
I
Yeah, I
don't
got
have
it.
any
You
more
have my
copies, sorry.
Just so you can see what it looks
Yeah.
like.
The second page is just.
I forget what the other, who's the other lady who was here earlier?
Rosemary.
Rosemary. I'm horrible with names, so please.
Yeah.
She, took a copy, she looked like what we saw from all the discussions we had before. That has all the industrial and stuff in it, John, like you recommended before.
It really pulls it all back, but
Yep,
puts almost all of it within that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
On the train track.
yep.
Yeah.
Does anybody on the board have anything they'd like to say or add?
I would.
Bob?
I'd like to change the plan a little bit. And the reason being, they included spots on Franklin Street, and which are close to existing houses. They included this spot across South Ave, which is
Nail shop.
shop with that truck place. I'd like to see those eliminated and add on Essex Street on the other side of the railroad tracks, which is pretty much industrial right now. And that will take it away from the neighborhood in these smaller lots. That would be my
It's
recommendation.
not much of an acreage difference either, does
No.
it? Like,
It would add, I think, if you take this area here, but I'm disappointed that we don't have representation tonight because
Sarah at the last meeting, had said that she could not attend this meeting, but that she could get us this paper. She had said outright at the meeting that she could not make it to this meeting.
okay,
That she would get us an updated map for us to look at.
okay, but now, what about how much is the total acreage? How much is,
Yeah, which she had said that she had said she could not be here, but would be able to get us this. That's what we had asked her to do for this meeting.
So we can ask for the information back.
Yep, and I had told her that if we had any questions, comments, concerns, anything, that I would, in the morning, shoot them all off and then
okay.
Sure.
But definitely.
get the correspondence.
Yes, but definitely have it on record, Bob's concerns that he wants to look at even more specific
Do you have
subdivisions
any
because of maps.
street references or names of the businesses, just so that I can give her a little more of a?
I'm sure he does.
if you probably just, if you took this here,
It's probably the area
you can see exactly on here.
northeast of South.
If she zoomed in on it, she could tell exactly.
Oh, yes.
Right there, so this little section here,
Mhm.
and that there, and then add this up in here.
Okay, awesome. I will take
That's
take a
probably the
PDF of
easiest
that,
way.
and then I will.
Then when you go,
Yeah, if,
So you're talking about the area
Nielsen.
yep,
north of South and east of Pleasant?
yep, this
Yeah.
little here, and this little section in
that
here,
little
and
bit.
add this up in here.
which is business.
North of Essex and by the railroad tracks.
Yeah, but that's, well,
Thank you.
there's one, that's the storage lot.
Right, but there's,
The rest is kind of residential.
no, there's a bunch of business there.
You know.
It's up to,
If the acreage works.
Yeah,
That's the whole key.
I guess, I thought about that, Bob, because really the storage, yeah, that's true, there is an auto detail there.
there's a dog,
But it's,
and then there's a
but
lot.
not on the other, you don't wanna go on the other side of Essex,
Right, no.
which is
Not on
residential.
the other side of the track.
And not east of Essex, beyond the railroad tracks, because that's residential.
Yeah.
Okay, I get you.
Where the strip mall thing is and that storage
Yeah.
place,
Yeah.
that's all commercial.
It looks like the acreage would probably, if this acreage is correct, it looks like it'll probably balance out pretty even. Maybe a little bit more, but it doesn't look like it'll be too far off.
Yeah, because this is the area on the other side of the tracks.
Yeah, the storage definitely,
Yeah.
that's like a car,
Yeah, detail on
a
it.
car dealer, so that's what
Yeah.
you're looking at. Okay.
I know what you mean.
So this is all
Yeah.
industrial type stuff.
No, I know exactly what you mean.
Just when you saying all up and behind here too, or just to the street right there?
Yeah, just to the street there.
So just to here, just so I can just like that, and then down.
If-
Okay.
If that works.
Yep. That way, I'm just gonna have you update that just so you can see.
It's to the discretion of the.
Yep.
board. That's what I'm.
Bob,
I'm just gonna show you, that's what he was saying, come across that street there, and that there, just take all those.
Yeah. And the ones,
Yep.
southwest
That's just what
of
we're gonna
Franklin
recommend.
Street,
Probably
Bob.
not fine.
There's a couple of those.
Yep, that's like the
business
Nelson line,
properties
Magic,
now, the,
Auto, right there, and those there. And then
Mike's Auto.
whatever street
Yeah.
that is that goes across,
Yeah, that's,
just that triangle, take out.
I just, Franklin Street, I just
Yeah.
need to get into the
If
residential.
we could just avoid, but if you had to go into that area.
If you had to,
That at least I could see rather than, once you start going up south
yeah,
beyond Pleasant Street, then I think you get.
If we change something, if it has to be there for
That's
something,
too,
for you.
that's too far.
You know, she has to
So,
say, well, we
yeah.
get some fine lumber.
And that's too
Yeah.
far,
We
even
put it on
with some of
90,
it, so I get what you're saying as well, yeah, absolutely.
So it's just so he has that side street. Well, I don't know what street that is, but
And we're
that
not
must run
talking
behind,
about
jumping
contractor.
Busy or whatever, behind that lot,
talking about buildability.
the office there, or whatever. No problem.
I'm sure that will be very helpful.
Is everybody else comfortable with that?
Yeah.
Wayne? Okay.
you live
Ready?
and if you want
Brandon, are you
to
good?
take a
You-
picture of this,
Bob's recommendation?
I am,
it's this
Okay.
area.
Static on you.
Oh, okay.
I'm okay with Bob recommending that, of
Okay.
course. All concerns are important.
Thank
Now,
you. Thank you, thank you.
I don't necessarily agree, but I don't disagree.
Okay.
That it can absolutely be questioned. Because we're just.
It all makes sense, you
overlaying
know,
off the-
right.
And I'm pleasantly surprised that I'm seeing this the way it looks.
And like Mr. Rosen said, it's all, most of it's inside that half mile, so that's even better.
Well, that's all that I care about. Is
Yeah.
that it's,
No, absolutely.
people can actually walk from the house.
It takes out the South Ave Bedford Street, which was, it makes more sense.
And hopefully affords
Yeah.
to live in that house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really focusing on properties that you'd kind of like to see redeveloped.
Right.
Rather than knocking down a 3-family house to put up a 6-family house or whatever.
Right.
Right. That's
Or
worse.
a one family for an acre.
Yeah, exactly, which is, if you start
I
stretching
didn't say that.
up South Ave, that's what you're gonna get.
Yeah, we don't need to build up here yet. You can build
I was hoping
nice
that would
and
open John's
dense,
head.
and it can still look good.
Yeah.
It's built right and modern. So, I'm pleasantly surprised that we don't have some scattered satellite
Yeah.
mess.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that's the whole reason we took out the buildings that were scattered around on that first proposal. Do we need to make a motion to go forward with this? I would say no.
Well, what's the next step?
So I had told Sarah that after this meeting, that tomorrow I would reach back out to her, let her know what the feedback was
Yeah.
from the board. So I have the 3 PDFs that I took, so I'll attach that to an email. Ask her if she can, give me some of the information you were asking for, and if these changes happen, would it still meet the requirements? And then I
Okay.
can bring that back to the board.
And then, after this, then somebody's gotta write up the new bylaw.
Yeah,
I've
which
got
is,
some good news on that.
yeah.
Is it done?
No, the town applied for an additional round of, this was a grant funded by Mass Housing Partnership. We applied to kind of re-up. Mass Housing Partnership is currently negotiating with the Barrett Planning Group to continue the same contract, bring Sarah back in to finish it. But it seems like it's a done deal. They're going to move forward. Sarah's going to come back and write the bylaw for us.
Beautiful.
This was actually on the BZ News today.
This
Milton just approved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was on the
Is
news
he
this
gonna get
morning.
this done in time so we can get it to the selectmen to
That's our goal.
okay it?
That's the plan. If if the planning
We've
board,
gotta have it on this coming,
we need to hit the May town meeting, and that requires a public hearing by the planning board because it's a zoning bylaw amendment. So we've got a tight timeline there to hit May, or we need a special town meeting in the fall because our deadline is
so why
December
don't we
31st.
make an appointment right now for when we'll have the public hearing?
Because we don't have the
You know, the bylaw.
bylaw to
You
do
guys
it with.
You gotta have the plan and the
We'll
bylaw
make
for
the date
people
and
to
then
look
they have
at.
to get it ready in time.
Well, after I reach out to Sarah and she responds to let me know if these changes can be made or what needs to happen, then we'll go forward with, okay, this is what we have, now what is your timeline for writing those, and then based on that, we will sit down and, because we have certain dates and there's certain timelines and everything has to be within a certain amount of time, so we have to, first the board would need to finalize this, and then we would need to then talk to their planning
If we
group.
get it in the fall town meeting, that'll be okay.
Right.
Yeah, if we miss May,
December.
if we miss May, a fall time meeting's fine.
So we're gonna have to get the selectmen on.
But it's a roll of the dice.
Get them moving.
Yeah.
If you wait for the fall, now it's a roll of the dice.
Yeah.
It's so much better to go forward in May.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
all
start
it's
that
all on the
and come
timing.
back in the fall.
It's on the timing. We can't guarantee that the bylaw is
Excuse me for a second.
written and completed
I
by.
agree.
So
May is,
it-
May is
it's
better.
it's definitely what is being shot for, but
Right.
all depends on the timing.
Confuse you a little.
Because Milton just voted last
Confuse you a little
night.
with town hall.
Well, they had December 31st.
Well, thank you very much.
They're one of the appropriate communities.
It was a two-night town meeting and there was two proposals to throw it out
Yeah.
completely. There was wasn't quite a two-thirds vote.
Yeah, Braintree is moving forward, but the planning board just passed the plan along to the city council
4-1.
of Braintree. And, they've got to act by the end of the year.
City council is a little easier than wrangling a town meeting though. Well,
Maybe it is,
maybe.
you know.
Yeah, but that's a council and that's a lot easier.
Yeah, I mean,
Have to
it is
public
less.
hearing in order for it to get on May.
So I know we just did this for another issue.
So is the requirement for, so I can read you all the steps here. Kind of have to work backwards. So the public hearing has to be within 65 days of when we get it proposed back to us. Because the bylaw, what would happen is the bylaw would have to be
So
written.
why don't we say to Sarah
Mhm.
that we'd like to hold the public hearing by no later than mid-February.
So so what would have to happen, it would be, sorry, I have two of them listed
See if she
here.
could be here January 9th.
So, which one is this? Sorry, I have two going right now.
How far ahead of the town meeting does a public hearing have to be?
65.
65
No,
days.
I don't
No.
know. No.
It has to be at
It
least,
has to be held within 60.
yes, within
Within,
60.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
I think I
Which
said
is,
prior to-
which is January, which is, yeah. Well, but we also have to have it at least 21 days before
Okay.
town meeting.
Okay.
Because,
That was, okay.
well, because we have to give, the board has to give their recommendation for it at least 21 days before
For
town
town
meeting.
meeting.
So we
And-
could say the middle of March then.
Yes,
Yeah, I think
so
that's a realistic.
March 26th would be like it would need
Well,
to
2 weeks
be
before
done.
that.
Well, that's if
And
everything, it has to be posted, it has to be posted 2 weeks before.
I understand all that. What I'm trying to say is,
Yeah.
if we say to Sarah, this is where we'd like to have,
Right.
give her a date, even though it might have to be
Absolutely.
flexible.
That's what we were I know that Kathy had said she was gonna reach out to Sarah too and just ask for We just need to know from them what a realistic timeline
Yeah.
for them
To
to complete this.
But we actually know what our time is.
Right, but if they can't write it within that, then
Right.
How long would it take the bylaw committee once we approve it?
Good luck.
So just trying to get that, you know, I don't want to go March 12th if you need more time.
Yeah.
If we can do it in February, get it done in February. Yeah.
So besides, if you're proposing to hold a public hearing March 26th, whatever, so it has to be advertised publicly
right,
in
for
the
2 weeks
newspaper
before.
like zoning boards. And when you advertise it in a newspaper, you have to have all the documents available for people to look at.
Right.
So.
And it has to be submitted to a newspaper really a week before that, so.
March 1st or so, you've got to
March
have
26th.
a final proposal.
Right.
And you do,
So-
you don't want to, March 26th is probably good because, I mean, the purpose of the public hearing is to take public input and maybe you want to change something
Again.
based on what happens at the public hearing. So particularly, if not the map, some of the provisions and requirements, setbacks and whatnot. So, you want to allow yourself some time to make those changes. And then, what's the deadline for printing it in the town warrant?
Right.
Yeah. Does the bylaw have to be written before we have our town meeting, our hearing?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. That's why.
Because
So
people need to be able to.
So how long? That's why I was asking how long it would take for them to write the bylaw.
Yeah.
So I don't want to do March 26th. If they need 2 months to write the bylaw.
Well, this is what I'm suggesting. You're hiring this consulting firm.
Right.
So you want to say to them,
Mm-hmm.
this is how we see it.
Yeah.
And I know Kathy's finding out
Yeah.
whether it's doable.
But the first step is you have to finish.
Yeah,
Because
right.
they can't
If
do
you guys
anything
are
until this
okay
is
with
not.
this as amended, suggested by Bob,
Yeah.
then I think we can get that feedback back and start drafting the bylaw.
Okay.
Yeah, but
So
that-
maybe Sarah could come to our meeting January 9th with the final draft with her final numbers.
And with I assume they're gonna take a bylaw that's similar to another town.
I would hope they could come up with a draft bylaw by early January, allowing for Christmas.
Yeah.
But they ought to, it's gonna
be a cut and paste.
Yeah, and then you're gonna look at it and you're gonna
That's
say,
it.
well, this is why we want something a little different.
Right.
180 towns have to do this within the next
Right.
year.
Yeah,
Right.
I tell them you'd like to see it by January 9th and let them explain why they
Well,
can't.
That's only
But-
beginning in 4 weeks. So you
Yeah.
But-
gotta get
Yeah.
on the ball.
Do you need to see another map though?
Well, we want to see
You guys have to vote on a final map.
these changes.
Right, but-
with the final ratios and
If
acreage and numbers.
and this is just I'm just asking so I know what information I'm
Yeah,
looking for and
absolutely.
sending. So
With the
If-
changes, Bob.
if we send this to Sarah and she says X, Y, or Z doesn't work or it doesn't meet X, Y, or Z,
Then they can tweak it a little bit.
but then we would still need a final vote before they can move ahead.
No. Because we can change the map up until the time that we have a public hearing, post for the public hearing.
Right.
So,
Is that, that's a correct, yeah?
the wordage, even though the map might change a little bit, the wordage is gonna be there.
The bylaw is really
Okay.
separate from the map.
Yes.
In
Right.
a sense. They can start working on the bylaw even if you wind up tweaking that a little.
Right, but we're not gonna change a significant,
No.
maybe an acre here or there.
Worst case, the 23rd is our second meeting in January.
Is there, just so that I know as I'm talking to Sarah, does anyone have any commitments on any of the other Tuesdays in January if she was unable to make a one date? Is anyone available other Tuesdays? Is there anything like any Tuesday that's
open on
off?
Tuesdays.
Well, we know we have,
We'll figure it out. I have nothing.
I have something, but I can probably be late.
Okay.
Do you have something else you want to add?
No, I
You
was,
say you're kind of fidgeting.
I was just trying to throw out a mock timeline. So let's
Yeah.
say today's what, the 12th? Let's pretend on Christmas Day, we say go. So that means we have 65 days,
We don't meet the day after
From-
Christmas.
the 25th. Well,
28th
no,
you don't
I'm,
meet.
I'm just putting up a mock
Okay.
timeline. So that means we have 65 days from that made-up date, and we have from that 65, we look at the town meeting, kick back 21 days minimum, this is not gonna work. So late February is probably as late as we should go.
So I can give you this one if anyone wants
Because
to
there's going
look
to
it up.
be issues.
We're gonna have a final draft by
It's
February.
Form
Yes.
7
I agree.
on the Mass General Laws website, and it spells out like what all the requirements are for the different.
Timeline template.
So, but that's, you can just print those right off or like look at them. So if anyone
So
wants
summer
to
maximum.
look on it, yeah,
Yeah.
just so that it's easier to
Timeline.
look at
The
and
real one.
get a
I'm not
grasp.
proposing that we do it in stone. I'm just-
No, I know. I'm just
Yeah.
saying if anyone wants to look that up, it's
The 9th,
so you can see it.
the 9th and 20th was what I just said.
9th and the 23rd, yeah.
23rd.
Yeah, if they can, if she
If she can do either.
If you
Okay.
do one of those 2 days,
Yeah.
we can finalize this in January.
Okay.
And then just get this done on our end anyway.
But in the meantime, I think we're generally okay with this plan.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You tell
Yeah.
Sarah, start drafting the bylaw.
Yep.
Let's try to get
Right,
it
even
done.
if she comes back and says what you say can't be done, I think what she has already would work.
The base
Not
of
much.
it is.
So, it's just
A
a
little
tweak
tweak
here,
here and there.
yeah.
That'll probably
Yep.
continue to happen anyway.
I will-
so, yeah.
Send her all that information and any information I get back, I will.
There won't be any trouble getting the selectmen to act on it, will it?
This is their baby.
So, well, so
No, it's just,
They don't really,
they just have to, so the bylaw would have to be proposed to the Board of Selectmen and then they just send it back to us to hold the public
it
hearing.
doesn't need
Okay.
the approval of the selectmen, they just have to put it on
it's
the
just a
warrant.
little more.
Alright,
Be nice to have their backing, but.
I think
We will.
We got one anyway.
We'll tell them we're not gonna vote for them for
What's
re-election.
It's quite a bit of-
Half the town don't vote anyway.
More than that.
Alright, so I will forward all that information along to Sarah and then I will let everyone
Two
know
grant applications.
what she says.
Mr. Chairman, move on to the next item.
Yeah, you guys all set? Anything else? You good, John?
Yep.
Justin?
Very good.
Thank you guys, I appreciate your input, thank you.
Good stuff.
To be in Rose Place.
Yes.
Rose Place.
Rose Place. Alright,
Guys.
I'm not even gonna read the applications, just.
Well, we already read it.
We've already been through this 3 years ago. Easy, guys, I don't know why I'm grabbing those. So,
That, yeah.
we gotta figure out what we gotta do with this.
I don't think we have to look at all the plans again, they haven't changed.
Not right now.
Every
No.
single
Right,
piece.
so we do have to have a public hearing.
Right.
Because there's one house in Whitman.
What are you talking about?
For the subdivision in Abington on Rose Place, one house in Whitman, 2/3 of another house and 1/3 of a third house. That is actually in Whitman, so we have to have a public hearing. What would the public hearing be for?
This is subdivision.
To state to the,
Does anyone have do you know it is the required timeline to hold the public hearing?
we are still recording, right? Okay.
Yep.
Well, I'm sorry to leave this here, I just don't have I took the wrong path tonight, so.
Everybody is out of
Yeah.
Let me put that on hold.
Yeah, we'll recess for a minute just to look over a couple of bylaws.
Yes.
That sounds good. Yeah, we're gonna recess for a couple minutes. Subdivision for Rose Place, Abington. We'll have a public hearing on January 9th. Do we have to make a motion for that?
At 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock, yes.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Elaine to have a public hearing January 9th at 7 o'clock.
Second, Brandon.
Second. Anybody have any further discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, unanimous.
Alrighty, so there is mail.
We can do mail after, something off the record.
Okay. So this is
You'll have no minutes,
the
correct?
mail. No, I apologize.
Okay.
We will have them next time and they'll be fabulous.
All right. Does anybody have anything else?
And there's
Motion
one,
to adjourn?
hold on, there's
Motion.
one other piece of mail. I do not know what it is. I did not open it.
Yeah.
That's just.
Must hold a 24-hour straight meeting, starting now. There's a check.
Okay, so I don't know, I can reach out to, this is a Form A that someone is submitting via mail.
By mail?
If we just get it today, we could do that next meeting.
Should we?
What is asked?
What's the date on it?
Asked.
Well, we just opened it now, so it doesn't matter, we just received it.
We have to have the applicant here.
It's from Grady Consulting.
It's supposed to bring us in person, not by mail.
Oh, so, okay, this one says, okay, so it says, dear members of the board, on behalf of the applicant, we hereby submit the Form A&R application to request a endorsement of plan to divide an existing lot into 2 lots enclosed, please find the following. Then this, please notify us of the meeting date and the time at your earliest convenience, so I can let them know to come.
Yeah. We'll accept it
Which would.
January 9th.
January 9th, after the public hearing.
Yep.
What's the property?
It's on Franklin Street.
7:45 Franklin.
So we have a
No,
motion to
5:45. We do.
You do.
Okay, and I will let them know that this comes.
So you have a second?
It's
Second. Yep.
Alrighty.
Motion to adjourn.